Hello, my name is Devin Simmons, catcher for 16u Antonelli baseball this summer, reporting from Cape Cod. I had the pleasure this year of being coached by Reina. He's an amazing coach. He is extremely knowledgeable as well as talented. He competed at a very high level in in college, and he was probably the best coach I've ever had. He coached in every single situation that he had a chance to. For me, obviously as a catcher, he got my pop time. I credit him a lot for getting my pop time down at least a couple tenths of a second. And in hitting, he helped me a lot this year fighting through some slumps. And I overall didn't have a great year, but he really helped me fight through that. Teaching me about, my cues. I really only had one full-on one-on-one lesson with him, but the impact he had hitting was great. He coached me so much. Coach about everything there is to know about baseball. He played in a bunch of different positions at a bunch of different schools, so he knows everything. I learned probably as much about shortstop as I did about catching this year. He sees something and he wants to coach. If I'm on the bench because I'm not catching, he will coach me about shortstop. He'll see something at a play happen at second base and he will coach me on that. I just learned so much this year from him. He obviously has a very visible passion for the game, and that really helped this year as a coach. And he likes to use the phrase, they have to know, or the players have to know that you care before they care what you know. And he really, took that on himself, and he made sure that we knew that he cared. And he put our development as players, he made that his first priority, and that was obvious. And it makes it so much easier to learn from him that way. Because, you can't really trust someone's, opinions or ideas until you really know that they're into it and they're putting everything into it. Well, Johnny put everything into it. Very young, obviously, but he's been around the block and he knows everything there is to know. He has the ability to show you visually how to do something because he is still an extremely athletic, extremely talented baseball player. He's still got 90 plus exit velo, still got a cannon, and so he has that ability that a lot of other coaches don't have, because he can show you exactly what you got to do in game or out of game. He has the development of the players set much before winning. You see a lot of programs that winning is their first priority. It's part of their marketing, trying to make money. He wants you to be the best player that you can be, and he will put everything into it to make that happen. And above all, he's a great dude. He's worked so hard to get where he is, and that is obvious. And he will put everything into helping you and helping anyone that he can help. He's so passionate about baseball and really just about helping people that he will put everything into helping you, and he wants to make you a better baseball player, and that's amazing, and a better person. The impact he had on me this year was crazy. I've never had a coach that is overall as good as I've had of him. He is an amazing person, and it sucks that he had to leave our team so early, but it's crazy the impact he can have on someone in less than a year, but he did. He's a great dude, all the integrity in the world. I love the guy, and best coach I ever had, hands down. Thanks, Johnny.
My name's Connor Wolf. I played for Antonelli baseball 16U this summer, coached by Reina. Johnny taught us how to be an effective team. He taught me how to be a really effective player, and he also taught me, most importantly, what it means to be a good teammate. So Johnny made our team more of a brotherhood. We all came from different areas. We all didn't really know each other. A couple of us had a couple buddies on the team, but more importantly, none of us really knew each other off the bat. So Johnny taught us that we all have to fight for each other. Johnny taught me that it's more about competing than it is worrying about mechanics. When I would get up to the plate, I would worry about, making sure my path, making sure I'm on time, making sure everything's going right. and not so much about competing, fouling good pitches off that I'm not going to drive into the gaps and all that. Once I got it into my mind that, competing is more important than mechanics, that's when I started to see better results, and that is thanks to Johnny. As a team, Johnny taught us that we shouldn't dwell on our lows too much and not celebrate our highs too much and stay in the middle line, and this honestly put us in a really good spot to succeed. Johnny as a coach, personality-wise, I would say he's a chill hard ass. He would be ultra friendly to us and let us screw around, keep an open mind. But other times he would, get on us if we're not playing our best baseball. Make sure we get our heads back in the right place. Overall, Johnny, easily my most effective coach ever, one of my favorite coaches ever, and all around, just a great guy. And he's a coach that you always keep in the top of your head, yelling at. He has all this stuff that he yells at you about, and and he's just that guy that you always have in your head, making sure that you're performing at your peak.
What's up, Coach? It's TJ, and this is the video, obviously, about how my summer was as an Antonelli ball player. This summer, it went by really quick, and at the start, I didn't really know any of the players, and now we're all a family. I love every single one of my guys and the coaches, but I remember I laid down a bunt in the first game of the season, and I ran down the line, and you were at first base, and the first thing you asked me was, "What's your GPA?" And obviously I said it wasn't good, and you brought up the idea of JUCO to me. And from there on out, it was kind of like I knew you really cared about me. I knew you liked what you were doing. And I knew that when I said I need to put weight on, and you immediately said right away, "I'll take care of that." And I was shocked that you said that. Like, usually I've had coaches in the past say that, yeah, you need to put weight on, or like agree with me. But you gave me a whole workout plan. Sorry, the camera keeps falling. You gave me a whole workout plan, and throughout the entire, you offered hitting lessons to every single one of us. And playing with someone like you and having you as a coach who's extremely relatable to our generation was just something I've never really experienced. And you definitely brought us all together as a family. I loved laughing and joking around on the bench, and I still wish that I could have you as my coach next summer. That's 100%. And there's just, it was a lot, before yesterday's game, you telling us that you were leaving, and that was for the whole team. Like, today when we broke it down with AB, we did JRB because the team really cared about you, and you really cared about the team. And that's like, as soon as I know you care about the team, I have 100% respect for you. Because if you like what you're doing, how can you not respect that person? And I know whatever job you're applying for in the future, you're going to give that 100%. Whoever you're going to show this video, you're going to give that 100% all the time. And that's just knowing you as a person, not necessarily a coach. You're a great coach, and you clearly know a lot about the game, yeah, but coaches, that's what they obviously know. They're coaching because they know a lot about the game. But a coach always brings his attitude to the team. And I've always felt I was able to relate to you when things like talking shit and having a tough attitude. I believe that I'm a tough person, and that's the way I was brought up. And I could see when you would say, "I hate that you talk shit, but also love that you talk shit." Like, the adult in you hates it, but the ball player in you likes it. And I've always loved that you said that, because I feel like I can relate to you. And I feel like the team can relate to you, because you love to be able to relate to us. You want to relate to us, and you can relate to us. And it's tough when it just ends abruptly like that. And the whole team was clearly wasn't disappointed, but we were distraught when you said you were leaving, because we want to play. When you coach us on the field and you show us everything that you know, we want to show you that we've learned it and we're listening. And we're going in the playoffs now. We're gonna win the championship, by the way. But overall, Antonelli this is the best coaching staff that I've ever played for. I've never played for a better coaching staff in my life, and the reasons for that are that, one, you care, two, you know what you're talking about, three, you care about every kid. I've never had a team record every single at bat, have YouTube on us all the time where we're able to watch. You make us feel professional. You want us to carry ourselves like we're professionals. And that's really all you can ask for in a coach. I've never, especially at this level, I've never had a coach care about so much of what he does at such a young age. Usually you see coaches say, whatever, it's 16U, but you guys, like, you specifically, you do not care if it's 16U, 12U, whatever. You're going to take it with full, like you're coaching the Red Sox. You're going to take 100% seriously. And I think you brought that attitude to the team, and it's really disappointing to say that our season ends tomorrow. So I'd just like to say thank you for everything, and thank you for being there for all of us. Thank you for having heart. Thank you for having our backs. Thank you. You did everything, and I just thank you for that. I hope you have whoever you show this to. If you don't, whoever's gonna see this video, if they do not think you're good for the job, bro, they're tripping. That's it. Thank you, Coach.
I played for Johnny this summer. I was the first baseman for Antonelli 16U. Johnny was probably one of the best coaches I've ever had. I don't think I've ever had a relationship with a coach compared to Johnny's in mine. I could talk to him about anything. He could talk to me about anything, not even baseball related. 3 words to describe him would probably be genuine, selfless, and very hardworking. In the winter, I remember I was nervous to even, look at him and talk to him because I had absolutely no idea who he was. And as I started working with him and he started talking to me, I feel like we became friends, honestly. Our relationship has grown over the summer and over the off season. He knows so much about hitting, it's insane. When I strained my bicep and I was out, I came back and I wasn't really doing well. My timing was off, everything was off, but he told me some tips on how to get my timing back easier, and it worked. I ended up getting some hits. I went 2 for 2 in the playoff game. That ended up being our last game, which was kind of sad, and it stinks that he wasn't there for that because I feel like that would be a moment I would want him to be there for, just so I could say goodbye one more time. I feel like I owe a lot of my success to Johnny at the plate this year. He gave us very good advice on how to attack every at bat. This includes like oppo gap timing and swinging at fastballs on a 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1, 3-1 count. When I was on the bench, whenever I was, he would tell us any mistake that any infielder or outfielder made. So he would tell us about, third base or shortstop or second base or left, right, center, catcher, pitcher. And I was the first baseman, so I was like, I shouldn't have to listen to this. But over the games, it really showed that it could apply to any position. So I started listening, and I actually realized, how knowledgeable about the sport he was, because he played at many teams, many divisions, different levels. Johnny's a good guy. He put us before anything, and he was really the glue of the team. I feel like he kept us together, and that he helped us all build very good relationships with each other. He didn't see mistakes as mistakes, but he saw them as like learning experience. As I said before, he would tell us whenever an infielder would make a mistake, and we would learn what they did wrong and how they could have improved on that. I wouldn't want to spend any other summer with any other coach but Johnny, because he's just such a good guy, let alone a good coach. He put in the time. I've never had a coach write me a letter at the end of the season, a very emotional letter. And this kind of shows how much he respected us as players. Johnny, I love you, man. I hope everything is going well. And I hope I have the honor of you being my coach.
My name is Owen Cootie. I played for Coach Johnny for Antonelli 16u. Coach Johnny was definitely the best baseball coach I've ever had in my baseball career. He was great with hitting on the field, in BP, during practice. He was really great with mechanics, being able to see what each one of us individually needed to work on, how we each got comfortable in the box. He was really good at tailoring instruction to each of us specifically, because all of us are different hitters. We have different approaches to the box, but he knew that. He was really good at recognizing what kind of mechanic changes would best suit us for in-game situations. Defensively, I played the outfield, so I didn't get much fielding instruction from him, but I could tell that the infielders respected him a great deal because he knew so much about defense and fielding. Base running, he taught us a lot of tips and tricks to get better jumps, better leads, see what a pitcher's thing is to be able to get back on a lefty pickoff move, where to keep a lead, stuff that I've never heard before. And apart from the baseball stuff, he was really good with the mental coaching. He stayed level. He didn't let any of us get too down on ourselves. And he knows that baseball is such a mental game. And he was really good with picking players up. He talked to me a lot about keeping focused, and not getting too discouraged, because that leads to other things. But all in all, I really, really appreciated him being my coach, and I'm gonna miss him a lot.
So I played for Johnny this summer for the 16u Antonelli baseball, and I was a pitcher, so I wasn't in Johnny's direct field, but he helped me because he explained to the hitters what they were looking for. So as a pitcher, I just took the opposite of that, and he also helped me conquer the count in a way, so I could help myself. And I got a concussion the first week, so I didn't have the full JRB experience, but it still affected me in a very good way. Also, playing for Johnny was awesome because he was ready to essentially take a bullet for us. There was an instance where our catchers were getting beat up, and he was very livid and protective of us. And like I said, his personality is protective and very caring. At the end of the year, he gave us all letters to say what we meant to him. And so now we're giving back to him, and he was an awesome coach.
Hello, my name is Hayden Bond, and I played third base and shortstop for the 16u Antonelli baseball team this summer. And I had the pleasure of being coached by Johnny Reina. I would attribute most of my improvements this summer mainly due to his coaching ability. He was able to make things that seemed really difficult actually super easy to understand. He helped me to improve greatly in all aspects of the game. As a hitter, he helped me to improve my timing by finding a cue, and he also helped me to incorporate my lower half into my swing. Even after just one hitting lesson with him, I was seeing results. And also, as a fielder, he helped me to improve greatly. He showed me how to use my athleticism to make the most difficult plays look routine. He's by far one of my favorite coaches I've ever had. It sucks that he had to leave so early, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all he's taught me and all that he's done for me.
Hey, what's up? I'm Logan Jalbert, second baseman this summer for the Antonelli 16u baseball team. I was incredibly lucky to be able to play for Johnny this year. He knows so much about the game and can help improve anyone in any position, really. He taught me a lot of things throughout my time playing with him. A lot of things that I'll be able to use and improve on as long as I play the game. He taught me things like the proper way to spin to, how to get better pre-pitch timing, and the right way to get tag on throwdowns. He had a few things he'd always preach to us before the games and practices. 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 fastballs. Expect them and hit them. and oppo gap timing, OGT. You can't forget that one. That's the most important one, I think. And he was also big on hydration, telling us all we need to hydrate the night before a game, and just things to make us all better ball players. He also basically fixed my swing. He taught me to swing through the ball and not around it, bring my hands back more, and it's crazy, like, I only hit with him once, and after that one practice, that one time hitting with him, I was hitting balls way harder and just way better. It was crazy. But yeah, he fixed the minor things. Like, those minor things turned out to have big outcomes. And I wish and hope somewhere down the line I do get to hit with him again. I hope somewhere down the line I do get to hit with him again and show him what I've improved on. And I'm telling you now, he knows what the hell he's talking about. He's only 23. Anyone who has the drive to learn, he can coach and make a better player. He wanted us all to improve in our game. If I made an error, he would just tell me to shake it off and get focused on the next one. He told me to quit being so tight and play loose and fast and just have fun. Don't think too much. He's the kind of person who only wants the best for his ball players and will do whatever to help them learn and to grow as players. Johnny is in fact the best coach I have ever had, and again, I'm beyond grateful I was given the opportunity to play for him.
Hi, I'm Joey Gizmont, and I was a first baseman for the 16u Antonelli baseball team, and I was coached by Johnny Reina. I have played 4 seasons of summer ball, and this year was by far the best. I feel like I learned and improved a lot this year. As a first baseman, Coach Johnny taught me better technique, like how to use the whole bag to gain range when receiving a throw from an infielder. As a hitter, I think he made me better each at-bat. To start out the season, I wasn't having that much success at the plate, but Coach changed one minor thing and all of a sudden I was hitting great. He told me I needed to point my front shoulder to the pitcher before my swing, and it worked. Later in the season, I started missing the ball and my timing was off again. He told me I needed to get my foot down earlier with a toe tap rather than the leg kick I do sometimes. Before every at-bat, he would say to me in the on-deck circle, "What's your cue?" And it was a great reminder to me to get my foot down and point my front shoulder at the pitcher. It was a great feeling to know that every time I got out or screwed up in the field, when I went back to the dugout, I would not be yelled at, but coached and turned into a better baseball player. He didn't just coach the one person who made the mistake, he coached the whole team. For example, if a ground ball was missed or any error was made, he would turn and ask the bench what was done wrong. If nobody had the answer, he would identify what went wrong and how to prevent it from happening again. Once the inning was over, he would explain to the whole team what he had just explained to the bench. He was always coaching, and it was a pleasure to play for him. It was clear that he cared about all of his players and wanted us to all grow and get better.
Hi, I'm Sam Beliveau. Johnny coached me this winter and this spring, and I just wanted to say a few things. So to start off, I came to Antonelli from a different program, not really expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, and I kind of knew Matt through the prep, and so I came to the one of the first practices to shoot like for his YouTube because I was doing community service, and that's when I first met Johnny working with 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, like just really young kids, and they're like the hardest to coach. I remember when I was 10, like I never wanted to be there, and he found a way to get them like interested, making practice fun but also competitive and getting better, because that's what it was all about in the winter, and keeping them engaged. And I thought that really showed like his maturity and like ability to coach, because like anyone can tell someone to go through the motions, but it's hard to get them like excited about getting better. And then when it was me on the field, getting my work, it was no different. He was just always pushing us to try different things that would make us better players. Like one time I was trying to feel the ball like too like pushy, and he was just being like relaxed and like bring it in here. So it was like, instead of like coming out and like trying to like like push it kind of, just like funnel it in. And he was talking about how it's similar to just catching a baseball normally. You just bring it to the center, just like you would with a ground ball. So that's helped me tremendously in my fielding. And I feel like I'm much more confident, especially also with the slow roller. He taught the to roll over to keep your ball from tailing over. That's helped me so much. It's kept my throwing errors down so much. It's magic. I honestly think it's magic how he did that. And like he saw it like in fast motion, like oh, you're doing this wrong. Oh, try this, and it worked, and it was great. And then with hitting, I was like trying to do this like big swing, and like he was just saying like, hey, you're a big dude, like you can like do like littler movements. I was way too I was like off timing with my hands, and he just like slow things down, and he would show us like clips of like very successful hitters and show them like what they're doing right and how we can incorporate that with our swings. And he was doing that with the whole team. I think our first game we scored like no runs, and then like he showed up and he's like, hey, like try this, and like we scored like 19 runs the next game. And it's just like amazing how like he like can so quickly just be like, this is what you're doing wrong. You can do this simple, like this small thing to fix it. And like if that doesn't, like if someone didn't like get that fully, he would just fix it for it, like really help them out. And I think he puts a lot of like attention and effort into ours. I mean, like he would watch like game clip for like an hour after our games, watching everyone swing, and he would come to us after. He'd be like, see this right here? He'd be like, just like tweak that a little bit and it'll do so much better. Like for me, I was in the first tournament, my foot was coming down too late, so I was late on everything. And then we made the adjustment and I was just a tick early, but like I was doing so much better. And then finally I got it for that third game, and it was the best feeling, because I know that I got better and he knows that he got me better, which was great. And also just as a coach, like not every coach, like some coaches are good with like, teaching you how to do this, like helping you with that. And some coaches are better at more of like the like overarching thing. I think Johnny does both so well. He was able to build a strategy. With first and second, we would bunt just because it's just like great practice also. And just like putting so much effort for us is a great help, especially with summer when like sometimes you want to like slack off a little bit. He really pushed us. And yeah, I think Johnny's a great guy, great coach, great person, and just all around a great person to be around a team, especially, a team like us.
Hey Johnny, Sorger here. This is obviously like my reflection on the season. I just want to start us off on a personal note. Thank you for all the hard work you've done. I think probably all the guys have said this in the video, but this is probably one of the the best summers I've had playing baseball, and there was a large part of it was due to the coaching of you and Juan, and you especially, just the passion you clearly displayed. It was really great to know that a coach cared as much as you and was as invested as you were in winning and getting better. So I just want to say thank you. General reflection of the year, I kind of might want to split this up into 3 parts. The first is going to be field and catching wise. So I'm a primary position catcher, obviously. And I remember the first kind of interaction we had about catching, I don't know if you remember, was at the winter workouts we had. And you were just kind of sitting there and we were doing pop times. And my big struggle at that point was with just the quickness of the transfer. And you started saying all these things. I didn't know who you were at this point in time. I was like, why should I listen to this guy? But I quickly learned this when you were speaking, that what you were saying was very insightful, and you helped me staying low, staying through the ball, always making sure that your transfers are quick, you're not cheating too much. So I would say the biggest thing, though, you helped me on catching is receiving wise, and you had all these quick sayings and quick feel things that were really helpful as a player. I think the one that stood out to me most was how you described that you should always receive on a sliding door. You should always move horizontal as opposed to using a steering wheel. Moving your glove vertically up and down to really get calls on, especially on the receiving on the outer halves of the plate. And I definitely saw that improved my strike calls and fooling umpires, framing pitch as well. Batting and running wise, like base running wise, you worked meticulously with every single player on the team, which was super, super helpful. You really invest in all of us to improve our swings, and I would say almost as much as our physical swing, our approach at the plate, knowing when a pitcher is just going to pitch you outside, knowing how to adjust to that, like whether it be staying on the plate or if it was like a soft throwing lefty, like how to deal with the run they're going to get. That was super helpful. You really showed the entire team and really opened up just a higher level of baseball knowledge that was super helpful to, I think, everybody. And that was really great. And I would say the way you put it was very clear, very concise, so we can make adjustments in game, and no one was like, well, what is he talking about? It was really good. Personally, all the feel and timing mechanism stuff that you worked on with me, like turning my top hands over so my barrel stays through the zone more, and really getting my timing down, was super helpful, and I definitely saw a very clear and quick improvement. Just kind of the other stuff that you helped on. You kind of come off at first as a quiet, more subdued guy. Just like you come off definitely as like a baseball guy. Like I knew this guy knew baseball, but I didn't know how much you would communicate it. But the more I talked to you and the more I got to know you, the more I quickly realized that you are a wealth of knowledge. All the stuff that you learned through your playing years and your coaching years, even though they might be shorter than your playing years, but all the stuff you've learned, you're not afraid, and you can very easily and quickly impart that onto us as players, and that's just super, super helpful. Definitely one of the clear, most observational. You definitely scrutinized all of our swings, all of our movements, and that was just fantastic. Coaches I've ever had. So thank you very much for that. And I would say probably the quality that separates you most and is most indicative of your character is the way that I always felt that you had our back, you had our team's back. The moment that stands out to me, obviously, is, we're catchers, we get beat up sometimes. You're always first to make sure we were okay. And especially when we were facing some knuckleheads that may or may not have hit my fellow catcher, Devin I, with a bat. We were first to stand up and make sure the umpire and the opposing coach and even the players knew that was not okay. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm running on the 5 minutes. I just want to say thank you again.